Welcome back, people of the internet. We are back for another episode of Jusant. Ebb Tide. Last time, we spent a lot of time climbing and going up some more. And, also Frog Blob can make plants grow. Pretty cool. Does that and plants grow. Not in this exact location, apparently, but in general, this is a thing that Frog Blob does. And apparently my autosave down at the fresco didn't stick, I guess? Because this is not where I quit the game, and I'm pretty sure that it had an autosave signal up here. Symbol. Icon. Thingamajig. You know. Hopefully today I'm doing better with words than I did last time I played. Last time was mildly tragic. But we got through it. It's okay. Alright. Yeah, because I went down there and activated that thing. Okay, the game does not like that angle at all. The game is like, what are you trying to do to me? Throw yourself off a ledge the wrong way? Not the way to climb? Alright. So I made the decision last time to just be stuck down here, but also reviewing the footage during editing, I'm pretty sure that there's a way I can get back up to where I was by making plants grow. Also, the cutout here, you know, we got the constellations and such framed, but it's the shape of Frog Blob, which is adorable. Because Frog Blob is adorable. Like, look at him. He's such a chill little guy. Alright. Yep, go through the door. Make the plants grow. I think probably they're trying to imply that the bottom of this pan is white. But well, okay, there's other things, but the thought I was having is that it looks like they just have milk in the bottom of this pan. But what I'm thinking now is maybe that it's salt. They could have been, distilling's not the right word, I don't think. Evaporating water, seawater, to get salt at some point in the far distant past when there was seawater here to evaporate. I'm not sure. There's many things it could be. It could be just a campsite that in the pan that has a white bottom too. It could be. I still definitely wish that I had a flashlight. I am finding myself very much wanting to push in the right stick and turn my flashlight on. Not that that works in this game, because there's no flashlight in this game, but you know, there's other games where that is a thing. And that is certainly the thought that is in my head. Well, I don't have to jump. Remember my buttons. That's the window we looked out before. Maybe we could get back there if needed. But that's not the direction we're going, so who cares? We have up to go to. Who cares about going back? Yeah, no, I need to go sideways here. Up we go. That was nearly disastrous. But the key word is nearly. We made it. We are up here. And there's a funky snail dude running around over there. Alright. Hey, Froglove, do we have any objectives nearby? There's a blue one up there. That's new, I think? There's still the pink one there. Alright. That feature's kind of neat, but it also doesn't seem exceptionally useful because there's not, like, branching paths or anywhere to get lost, really. At least so far. Does this go somewhere? I go... Hold on. Okay, so I can definitely climb that with a whole bunch of shenanigans. No, I'm not close enough. But what's up here? Does this actually... Oh, okay. No, I can't actually go that way at all. This game seems mildly arbitrary with where it lets you even try to go. Up we go. I don't know enough about climbing to know if this is realistic at all. But I feel like it's kind of realistic. Other than the magic rope. Got it? But also not realistic for the average person, but like for super elite climbers that are crazy good at not falling and dying. Which I don't think would ever be me in a million years. Okay, another shell. Somebody was farming up here. Interesting. Is this like possibly a super primitive windmill? Although that doesn't seem like that would be the most effective way to make a windmill if the wind was coming from this direction. Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about. Like, why is this like that? It looks like it would be on a flow of water. Or possibly you power it to move water somewhere, rather than it being the power source. But neither explanation makes sense here. This doesn't look like a place where there was a water flow at any time. Or maybe in the wildly distant past, when this was like ocean and such, and all of these giant ammonites existed. It was also crazy to me, speaking of ammonites, that from what I recall, if I'm remembering this right, like cuttlefish and octopus and everything, most closely related to snails. Very crazy. Can I get up there? There's probably nothing up there. No. That's a invisible wall. Okay, cool. But yeah, it looks like at one time that was a tiny little farm. How you were farming here with Yeah, I guess. Okay, okay, it's open to the sky on this side, so no, it could work. I wouldn't rate it as highly effective, but it could work. If that's where you've got soil and a little bit of flat space, then fair enough. There's also a climbing plant, a vine thing over there, but I don't think... Can't activate it from here. It doesn't really look like anything goes to it. Well, hold on. Might be able to get to it using that. Okay, so which way are we going? That's cool. It's a nice view. Alright. Is there anything out this way before I go there? Oh, like a little... Okay, scooch. There's carvings that I can't see. I can kind of see them. They do look different than the other carvings that we've seen before, so that's cool. I wish I could see them better. Are you gonna... Okay. What's this? Presumably, since this is all wood, it's just painted, but the color of this wood really reminds me of verdigris, like the stuff that happens to copper when it oxidizes. Although everything does seem to be kind of extra coated in this blue-ish. Like, not the ground, but all of the objects have a sort of bluish cast to them. So maybe they're implying something else, but I think probably stuff is just painted. Alright, why did we come back in here? What's going on? There's a message scroll. Pardon me, but I noticed I've stopped receiving my newspaper. Is there anything I should do? Could this be an oversight on your part? While I'm at it, I should mention that I really enjoyed your article on the Choco Show. Greetings. As you know, there isn't enough water left for the postal relays to function, and too few pebbles available to deliver the paper in good conditions. Because of this, the Voice of the Ravines team has decided to cease publication. Although our desire to inform our readers is stronger than ever, we haven't yet decided what form our daily paper will take in light of this new situation. Thanks for your feedback on the show. I've always enjoyed covering that event. Let's hope we get an opportunity to discuss it again one day. When there's no water, everything seems so fragile, doesn't it? Yeah. Not having any water would suck. Water's a pretty important thing. I think that's the only thing up in here. That's cool too, though. The sunlight trickling in through the, that high window. It's a neat effect that it's flickering, but I'm unsure why exactly it would be flickering. From a realistic standpoint. Maybe what's the word? I cannot think of the word. Like the effect that creates mirages and such. Where you look at like a hot horizon and it's just sort of rippling. There are definitely places in this game where the collision is just extra finicky. Alright, where am I trying to go? So there is a down there. I feel like up there is probably where we are supposed to go. I suppose this would be an occasion where I would check the frog blob's tracking system. Oops. That was not the correct timing at all. There we go. I don't know if I should have put that away or not. Oh, this is all dusty. This space. Good. Oh, wrong one. Their objectives. No objectives anywhere. Well, okay, there's that there. Whatever the blue one is that we saw earlier, it seems to have disappeared now. Alright, well, let's see if this is actually anything. This is the sun side. Oh yeah. You can see the heat effect I was just talking about on everything. That explains why the sunlight was flickering in that previous room. Oh, these are probably the carvings we saw on that wall that we couldn't really see too, where we were squeezing through the gap. Those look like corals, or possibly not corals. Some kind of crazy invertebrate sea life. I'm not really sure on the classification of every kind of invertebrate sea life that I can envision. But there's like things that live in tubes and send out prawns and such, and that's what those look like to me. There is no glowing in this one. Okay, do you show this as an objective? No. Huh. That's kind of whale-like. And it also definitely depicts the ocean. And little seabirds and such above it. That's cool. Oh, these are more complete. They're not missing very many tiles. That's cool. This chunk of rock in the middle looked like a face for a second in profile over here. I mean, clearly it's not a face, it's not even a carving, it's just rock that, well, technically some 3D artist created it, but it's just rock. Naturally broken, in theory. Other than the part where it's in a game and somebody created it. Alright. Peek. Peephole. There. It is so dark in here after being out there. I just almost ran off the edge. Ooh. Oh, there's several of those. Oh, look at the size of that shell. Massive. Magic rope. Get on my way. For all of my complaints with this game, it does have a very nice atmosphere. I feel like that place that we just passed on our left would be a great place to just build like a little platform or something so that people could take a break in the process of climbing up this. I mean, I guess it's not that much farther, but in the context of the distances we've traversed so far anyway. But in actual real life, like, holy heck. Climbing up just that much would be a huge effort. And it would be very nice to have a little spot to rest for people who are maybe not quite as fit as the character we're controlling seems to be. Interesting that that has a flickering light on it still. Pretty. I've never seen so many people coming down from the heights, and some are stopping in low tide. Maybe my situation's not so hopeless after all. The ocean provides for a patient heart, as my mother used to say. Maybe I'll finally manage to meet someone. It's been slim pickings here. Apart from old Yam, maybe. He makes my heart flip with his dimples, calloused hands, and that plaid shirt he always wears. Yam? The baker? I hope you're joking. I can never tell when you're pulling my leg. Anyway, I'm leaving the tower too. Sorry, Bossa. I don't know how else to tell you. I wish we could clip our carabiners together like we used to before running aground on the old pier. I wish I could convince you to come with me. But that's how it is. I'm crewing up with a neighboring village. They found me a spot on one of their pebbles. We'll see each other again somewhere down on the plain, won't we? Don't be angry with me. I'll miss your letters. Yeah, that's pretty sad. It is rough leaving friends behind, even when that's what you have to do. There. Where we're going? Across there? I think so. A little bit of a ledge over there. Presumably used to be able to get there. Not anymore. Oh, we're approaching that one. That's... well, maybe not. I don't know. It feels a lot closer vertically than it used to. Whoops. Oh wow, there's like a whole colony of snaily dudes up there. Kind of strange, unidentifiable machinery. I'm just trying to imagine what this could have been used for. Laying cable, dispensing cable maybe in a safe way. It does look like cable and not rope, but who knows. Okay, there's a cairn over here. Also, the view out that window makes the world look exceptionally bleak. Which, I mean, everything about this game has suggested the world is exceptionally bleak right now, so that's not really a surprise as such, but Yeah, that does not look pleasant. Oh. It does get me hoping this is one of those games where you fix everything. Which, I mean, that's most games, right? But there are certainly games that I've played that fixing everything is not the end goal at all. Interesting diagram on the wall. I suppose specifying exactly which game I'm thinking of would be spoilers for that game, so... Oh hey, we can actually spot the sun now. This is all much redder than the part further down was. Frog Blob does not want to sit in the sun. Oh, we put on our sunglasses. Ooh. Haven't seen those sunglasses since the intro. Presumably we approached the tower from the shade side, I guess? I mean, it wasn't really shaded as such, but maybe. Man, check out this view. Reminds me of flying over, like New Mexico or Utah or something. I do think this is the other side of the tower, whatever you want to call it, compared to where we were before. There's actually blue sky way up there, and the occasional cloud. Guess that explains the intermittent shadows earlier. Okay. Guess where are we trying to go? Looks like there's some structures over there, kinda. I mean, that rope looks like it goes down to something down there. That's probably where we're headed. I don't think we can get farther up along this wall. Why is there a blue thing inside that barnacle thing? Interesting. Oh, there's fish. Fish carving on the wall. That's pretty cool. I've seen like freeway overpasses that have bas-relief like that of fish. Probably salmon, given where I've seen them. Reminds me of that. They're pretty cool. I'm just enjoying the view for a moment here. Alright. Onward. Yes, I'm aware of that. Fine. Are you telling me that now for a reason? Ah. You know, that does seem quite a bit closer, and also that's what it showed me in that little cutscene. So, fair enough. Oh, there's a... I almost missed that entirely. Okay. I think that's where we just... No, we came out farther around the corner. Okay. I mean, I would have walked around up here before I take a one-way trip down the thing, but... It's probably very unpleasantly hot. Unless it's just cold because of the altitude. Also a possibility. This. Ah, place to finish a cairn. Frog Blob can't make it wet everywhere, but he can around cairns, is what I've learned. Also, this is cool. Some kind of little flowers. Look at those. Those are neat. What are they doing? No! Desiccating and dying. Sad. Don't do that. Oh, I'll have to do it when I'm not watching, I guess. We gotta get out of here before they desiccate. I can leave pretending that they survived forever after my departure. I know I'm fooling myself, but, you know, pretend a little. Okay, so we can just do that on all of those. That's interesting to know. Can't do it while I'm eating down the zip line. Oh, these are different. Oh, maybe they're not different, it's just the lighting. Will they let me get close enough to tell? They look yellow, I just can't tell if they're actually yellow. Or if it's because everything over here is yellower. Yeah, no, they're yellow and black. I think. I'll have to pay attention and see if there's more birds to spot. Because I'm pretty sure those were yellow and black and it wasn't just the lighting. The prompts talk about Frog Blob doing things with elements, but it certainly seems to me that it's just like water and or growth, life. Yeah, that view kind of makes it sink in. Hopefully we're here to help with life. Is anything? Doesn't appear to really be anything. A little bit of a resting spot, perhaps. Stamina drops more quickly when the sun is out. That makes sense. Yeah, they look yellow from this view, too. I'm pretty sure the earlier ones were, like, white and gray. Roots will wilt in the sun and disappear after a certain amount of time. Okay, good to know. Where... That's not a very long time at all. Oh, there's some in the shadow that didn't wilt. Okay, that's good to know. We're going up to that platform. Looks like there'd be some jumps, but it doesn't look too complicated on the whole. I'm not sure why all of this debris would have just been left here. I mean, I understand why it would have been left behind, but not necessarily just all over a scaffolding on the side of a cliff. That doesn't fully make sense to me in the context of the fiction of the world, I suppose. Alright. I don't think I can go that way. There's plants over there. Maybe I get there from above at some point. We'll have to keep an eye out for that. And snail shells in the wall and such. Yeah, that's an area that I would expect to be able to get to, but not from here. I'm glad that wasn't too far up because I didn't even pay attention. I just went. Yeah, we're going that way because I think... check. Okay, there's another blue thing in that general direction as well. Frog blob does not suggest that there's anything over here. There could be something to read. Something like that. Leave behind all their pillows and all their stuff. That would be pretty rough. You have to leave the only place that you knew just so that you can have water and not die. Is moving really the solution? It makes no sense to be leaving the tower. Like the drought's gonna fix itself while we're gone? Leaving our parents' fields empty to crowd round a watering hole? Right in the middle of the Great Plain? What then? When your oasis dries up, where will we go then? I don't think this is how we're gonna solve the problem. There are other options if you ask me. What do they say about ballasts? They're carved into the walls wherever you look. Gab's even seen some in the old paintings. There's talk of them here, that's for sure. Plenty of folk even say the ballasts are the ones who stole our water. We should make sure of that, shouldn't we? Should go up to them clouds to find out. There might be a solution up in those parts. Might not be. But there sure ain't none down on your plane, that's all I'm saying. Come on, Arlo. You can't be serious. Cloud giants? Really? Those are nothing but a bunch of tall tales. Common sense tells us to go with the flow, and the flow is going downward. We've been assigned a spring. Yes, it's in the middle of the plain, but it's our last hope, our future. It would be nice if you there folks could see that. I mean, our character had to come from somewhere. Presumably our character came from some family that went down the tower at some point. Also, there's another, like, frog lizard thing up there, and it's a different color than the ones before. I wish we could see it better. Not much light in here. It's not just a different color, the shape of the frill is different too. That's cool. I enjoy the details like that. They made the creatures different here. That's presumably a Choco Hutch. And also... Oh. Hello, friend. Goodbye, friend. There's a cute little model of a shrine or something up there. This looks like it would have been a pretty cozy place to live if you were accustomed to living on the side of a giant cliff. Got a nice view, but also sheltered enough to be pleasant. I wonder how high the water went when people were living here. Before whatever happened to dry it all up. Logbook. 12 octaves in 2 seconds after the Jusant. We did it. I'm completely wrung out, but we made it in time to join the expedition. There weren't many of us there, barely a handful. Look how peaky the poor thing is. She's shaking like a sewing machine. I felt so far from home, but the tone was more encouraging than mocking. My efforts had been acknowledged and appreciated. I was too out of breath to reply, but a new emotion rose up inside of me. I was proud to have made it this far. Still doubled over from the exertion, I looked around at the others. Everyone there had left everything behind to be there. They had a fire in their eyes, a desire to change things, and I was part of it. It's all it took to fill me with fresh energy. Arlo and Becca welcomed us to their sun-scorched farm with open arms. They were emotional, and the mood was solemn. They're the last farmers left in these parts, and they're the ones who've put together this expedition. They've spent their entire lives trying and failing to fight the drought. Nothing grows on the cliffs anymore. In their own funny-sounding words, not one measly plant grows in these here fields no more. I hope I'm not reproducing the Highfield dialect too badly. Then Becca told us about their wild scheme, setting off for the clouds to find water in the sky. At her words, a murmur rose up from the group. There was talk of how feasible the plan was, how best to go about it, which routes to take and which sections to avoid. Arlo and Becca want to find ballasts, as they're called lower down, enormous creatures made of water that are said to live in the clouds. Ballasts only exist in sleep stories for children. Well, that's what I always thought before embarking on this adventure. They're Arlo and Becca's last hope, and I'm starting to believe in them too. We may have a chance to save the tower. It's up to us to seize it. Bianca. One can assume that they were not successful in saving the tower. Because the tower doesn't look very saved, and they seem to have gone past... I mean, who knows how long it's been, but certainly long enough that nobody lives here at all anymore. I also didn't even realize until this note, like we just read the other one across the room, and the second half was addressed to Arlo. Totally forgot that Bianca was going to Arlo and Becca's farm until I read this. Lastly, it's interesting on the left side that there's constellations on her logbook paper when... I mean, I guess I don't know, this is a game, maybe time just doesn't pass, but we've only seen sun. Haven't seen any indication of night falling, but that could just be because it's a game. This is Arlo and Becca's farm, huh? Yeah, that didn't do much. Those are cool mushrooms. See, those look like mushrooms to me when most of the stuff we've went past looks like funky, land-bound coral. A bunch of stuff up there. I wonder if those little lizard frog things are pebblebacks. They don't look quite big enough for what was described before, but who knows. There did seem to be one living in this hut, and they do go straight up the walls, so maybe they could be used as beasts of burden? Cute little friends. Alright, onward. Yeah, this is fun. Thing in the wall. Go. Where do we go from here? Up. Okay, these ones in the shade shouldn't just disappear. How do we get... Probably have enough room to swing over there, and I think that's probably what we need to do. This is so gnarly. Not working well. There we go. There you go, vine. That somewhat feels like a one-way trip, but we'll see. Maybe if we grow this friend, it will go across. The speed with which that vine grows is somewhat intimidating, if I'm being honest. Ah. You don't... What was the point of growing that one? It doesn't go anywhere. Okay. What? Grab it. Apparently she doesn't want to grab stuff that's kind of directly to her left and not on the wall to her left, if that makes sense. It just doesn't seem to be the case. Good thing, because you're gonna... Didn't make it. Well, it's okay. Okay, settle down. It would be okay if I went the correct direction with my things. Oops. How do we get across that fast enough to make this work? Maybe I just jump? Alright, good. That's good to know. Would you just... Can we go that way? Those both go the same way. Why is there two routes? I mean, one's kind of in the shade, I suppose. Might have been easier stamina-wise. They both appear to go to the same place. I'm not really sure. Okay. Yeah, look at the birds. It would be neat to be able to zoom in and actually take a close look at the birds, but you can't because they fly away as soon as they get close. And you can't zoom in, obviously. Piece of ice in my drink that was making it hard to take a drink without slurping horribly. Hopefully I can edit out most of the slurping horribly. But we'll see. I might have been foolish enough to talk around it. Can we go down? No, I feel like we don't want to go... Oh. We're close enough to grow that plant. I kind of want to go down and grow that plant. Will I regret it horribly if I go down there? Well, I guess I can just, get stuck on a rock. Yeah, that's... Oh. Yeah, the plant will take me all the way back up. Okay. Those are cool windows. Also, why is there an attachment point right there? Is there somewhere to go down from here? I guess, yeah. Wonder what this is. Anything in here? A little piggy friend. Nothing in there. Gotta be some secrets or something. Kind of sweet lore. Part of me wants to just walk on that and see if it would stop my fall, but I feel like it would not stop my fall. Shouldn't. So probably it's better if I don't just walk on that. That's cool. They got bluestone set in the wall here. Ooh, paintings. That. Actually, okay. They left a bunch of plates and crockery and mushrooms grew in them, I guess. Or I don't know, maybe they left things half eaten. Not crazy. art direction in this game is very good, in spite of whatever other problems it may have. The it's nice that the elemental ability also allows me to sort of have dark vision of sorts. Closed permanently or until the sun decides to start moving again. Okay, so I was correct about the sun not moving. It's not just because this is a game. Okay. Wonder if that's a thing we end up interacting with, or if it's just for scenery. A little tower-looking thing on the side of the cliff down there. Anything else down here? See, if I was closing my restaurant because I was leaving everything behind, I wouldn't leave all my junk out on the tables in the elements. I would put things away inside and tidy things up. And not just leave everything, like, it looks like people left in a hurry and unexpectedly, not... Coffee pot. Not because they decided to, because they couldn't live there anymore, you know? But whatever. Anything on that side? No. Oh, not sideways. Come on. It definitely seems to just sort of get stuck sometimes in a way that's kind of annoying. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's fine, but it would be better if she didn't, you know? Okay. Well, this actually seems like a pretty good place to stop because we just entered a new area. It's getting about that time. And I'll probably record again this afternoon. So I'll probably just pause the game and leave it here. Yeah, we made some pretty good progress today. Satisfied with how far we got. Don't really have a lot of other great thoughts about it, except that those views are something else. Like, they really drive home the situation of the world in which we find ourselves, you know? Being able to look out over a rocky landscape that looks like it should be at the bottom of the ocean, but it's all dry and sand and dead, other than the birds. And the lore about the sun not moving from the presumably a restaurant sign. That's interesting. Makes me wonder how the tides work here. Like, I mean, obviously the tides are not here currently, but there used to be tides, or they wouldn't be talking about them, you know? They wouldn't have named their city Low Tide. Thinking back on it, a lot of the buildings farther down looked like you could seal them. They're like set into the rock, and they just had like sealed doors and such. They didn't have the big lacy open windows of the place that we just went past. Like those cool windows in the restaurant. Those don't seal at all, but the stuff farther down, and plus the name of the town, like Low Tide, that doesn't make any sense unless the tide goes higher than that, you know? So maybe at times that was all underwater. Maybe the tides, before they stopped completely, were super extreme. Like high tide might have been hundreds of feet taller than low tide or something. I don't know. Interesting to think about. But yeah, we'll call it here for the day for this episode. And have a good one, everybody. Hope you enjoyed watching, and I'm looking forward to playing a bit more of this game. It's getting quite interesting as we get into the lore a bit more. See you next time.